Good morning, welcome everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Chrissy and today I'm going to be giving you a prediction reading for the 9th of December. Oh, Christmas is coming around, guys. It's very close now. I'm sure you're getting very organised. Look, before I get started, guys, if you are new here, please feel very welcome to comment down below. Please subscribe, maybe consider that and hitting the bell notifications as well so none of my videos pop up. I have got my 2024 predictions up. I've got part 1 and 2 and I've got celebrity and financial as well if you're interested in those. Go to my playlist on my channel and I'll put them under the 2024 playlist, so you'll find 2024 predictions if anyone's interested in those. And I have got loads of self-help videos too if you're interested in things on anxiety or depression or any of these kind of things, how to move your life forward, how to make changes. I've got tons of those as well. The other thing is, guys, I'm still doing some pull cards. I'm just doing a few more. I've got a few more left to do, as we know. On the 6th, I did Pia Forsberg and Upside Down Gardener on my last video. Go check those out if you haven't, guys. And today I'll be doing Debbie Wild and Justice Warrior. So look out for those at the end of this video. Okay. Now, firstly, I've got a little bit of admin, guys. Just a little bit. There's been a bit going on. Because I haven't seen you for a couple of days. Sorry, guys. I went to the Christmas barn the other day with my daughter shopping, and then yesterday, I actually went down to my chiropractor. He's about an hour away, and I forgot to tell you guys I had that planned, so I didn't end up shooting a video yesterday, so apologies for that. And he clacked my neck on one side. He seems to think my neck is stress. I know you guys are going through these similar ailments. A lot of us here, if you're new, we're going through very physical things with our bodies as we're moving through this ascension. Got a lot of bad backs, knees, necks, this kind of aches and pains. So I have been put back into alignment. He does think my leg's sort of in a strange position now, which is, as we know, most of you out there from limping, which puts everything else out. So he said put the wheat bag on and just try and relax those muscles and keep getting massage. So same probably goes for you guys. Just keep doing whatever you can to keep healing yourself. It's just gets so exhausting. Anyway, enough of me whinging and sooking. Let's get into the admin, guys, first before I start the reading. I've got a little bit to get through. Bear with me. The other day on the news, because we know the mainstream media, feeds you what they want to. They've got a new thing. Remember I was telling you about the terrible youth crime that's going on in Queensland? It's out of control. And Anastasia Palaszczuk is a Labor government leader under elbow. She isn't doing nothing pretty much about it. So now they've created this concept. It's called Coffee with a Cop. Yes, you can meet with the police on the Gold Coast and have coffee and a chat with the cops about the youth crime issue. Like, what on earth? What is going on up there? How's that going to solve? I know crime is something that's on the increase globally, so that's why I'm mentioning this to you. How is that going to help youth crime and people feel safe in their homes? Catch up with a cop and have a coffee. Aren't they trained to, catch criminals? I don't get it. So that's the latest crazy scheme going on up there. And Palaszczuk, which is Anastasia Palaszczuk, is doing nothing. I think we're going to find this is becoming a global issue because we seem to notice that the global leaders keep turning away from all these problems and issues that are going on. The other thing here in Australia is around the mining companies. We talk about the mining all the time with all this talk about global resources, blah, blah, blah. BHP has been underpaying all their employees, apparently. They've been ripping people off. So I don't know what's going to happen there. I'm guessing they're not going to be back paying. And can you imagine the amounts of money? So they've been underpaying. But BHP, don't worry, they've made all their billions of dollars. Yep. They're billions of dollars. Oh, that's the other thing I forgot to tell you about the Gold Coast and Queensland with Anastasia Palaszczuk as well, guys. She's not helping with the crime and all this sort of stuff, and she's all focused on the Olympics in, I think it's 2035. Well, she's given herself a pay rise. Just forgot to tell you that little bit. You know how they all give themselves a pay rise for doing what? Anyway, so getting back to the mining companies, they've been underpaying and they're making billions and billions of profit. So don't know where that's headed, but of course they're going to call out the mining companies as they shut down all the mines. It's just madness. We don't know what's the truth and what isn't, guys, do we? The other thing is here in Melbourne, of course, we've still got the climate protesters, rather the extinction protesters they call themselves, being arrested. I watched this yesterday morning. It was on the news here. Hilarious. It is entertainment. This clown show just gets funnier. They had about, maybe 20 people climate protesting. And it did to me look a little bit staged. And there was no joke, there would have been 60 police. This is in Melbourne, of course, the most locked down city in the world. There would have been about 60 police to 20 protesters. And, they were causing terrible disruption. But, but they did look to me, just in my opinion, as you know, guys, my videos are for entertainment purposes only. Take from them what you choose. But they did look a little bit staged because they were actually lining up to get arrested. Yes, they weren't sitting on the ground and, marching or anything. They were actually lining up, and the police were taking them one by one, and they were just lining up to be arrested. Come on, arrest us. So, a little bit staged, I'm thinking perhaps. We don't know. But the other thing that I want to talk about here is that on the last weekend, in Ballarat, in Victoria, where Melbourne is, the state of Victoria, remember I was telling you about the Nazi marches? We won't talk too much about it because we know you're not allowed to talk about these things on YouTube. No arrests were made in that one. There was probably about 30 or more of them, and they got a police escort. Yep, no arrests made there. Go figure. Work that out, guys. Got me baffled completely. If anyone's got any answers, that'd be nice. We know it's as corrupt as it all comes, but yep, the old all in black, balaclavas, everything, chanting stuff against the JWS community, and not one arrest. Not one. No. Police escort. Let's go. Police escort, cars driving behind them and ensuring their little, protest march didn't get interrupted. What is going on, guys? None of this makes sense. And yes, guys, I did see in the UK, I see there's the inquiry with Boris Johnson. What a circus show. Oh, about the CV event. We won't talk about it because we're not allowed to talk about that either on YouTube. He is sitting there admitting that perhaps the government might have made some mistakes around this. Yeah, we could tell him that. But, yeah, at least Boris is admitting his mistakes. Well, he's blaming the whole government, actually. Too many parties for that guy, wasn't there? Oh, yes. Nobody get together while we all get together in 10 Downing Street. And you know what annoys me, guys? I know you guys are the same. Nothing ever comes of inquiries. Useless, waste of taxpayers' money. Nothing ever comes of it. Oh, yes. And now the other thing, guys. Sorry, I have a bit of admin to get through this morning. Bear with me. Virgin Airlines. Yep, right on cue. School holidays starting here. Threatening strikes. Virgin Airlines. Yep, the old airlines. Strikes over Christmas. Oh, that's a surprise, isn't it? Who would bother to book a flight anywhere when you know that every holidays they're going to strike for pay rises, etc. So all those people will probably have their flights cancelled, baggage lost. You know how it goes. Anything to try and turn people off travelling. We know that's the actual main plan, but why don't they do it in between school holidays? No, never happens then. Always at the start. You think about it. Every video I've talked to you guys about, and I'm sure it's the same in your countries, as soon as school holidays come around, it's on TV, the strikes are on. With the airlines. They're also scrapping the checks here, monetary checks. That's definitely coming. They were talking about that this morning. But I thought it was interesting because on the Today Show, the mainstream media, they were actually, the people on the show were saying we need to really keep cash alive. They didn't say why, but they were actually saying that, which I thought was very odd on mainstream media. And also, guys, there's just so much happening. I've got to get it off my chest because you know how frustrated we get from these things. Australia, we're going through crazy weather. It's actually stormy and grey outside today. That's why I'm inside yet again. They're having heat waves in Queensland. There's floods going on, and now there's a cyclone up the top end of Queensland. So we're getting torrential storms. We hardly ever get storms where I live. This is really unusual, and we know the weather is very unusual. So we've got firestorms, cyclones, the whole lot's going on here in Australia at the moment. And I know you guys are experiencing these things too, but it's everything in extreme. That's my point. We're not getting the nice drizzly rain we used to get years ago, and a few hot days here and there. Everything, especially on the news, mainstream media, is catastrophic, disastrous, flooding, wiping out towns, just that's the sort of thing we're getting. And also, they just mentioned briefly this morning, and I have to share it with you. Dictator Dan from, Melbourne, the most locked down city in Victoria, or in the world, actually, sorry guys, who has now resigned. I'm sure he took his little pay packet and he's off. Well, a lot of us think he's working for the WEF. We did hear rumours, so... he's got a new podcast. Apparently he's been appearing. I don't know. I don't think it's his podcast. It might be him appearing on a podcast. And he's talking about why everybody was how he felt when everyone was calling him a dictator. Oh, yes. And he answered and said, look, calling me a dictator and a control freak and all this stuff, it was just BS. It just wasn't true. You've got to do that when you're in those positions. So that's what Dictator Dan's letting everybody know, that he was not a dictator. He wasn't a dictator at all. It was all BS. I'm sure if we interviewed a few people in Melbourne, they would say it wasn't BS. There was one more thing I had to tell you about. Oh, yeah, guys, did you see? We have so many great laughs on this channel, don't we? Did you see Sushi get locked out of 10 Downing Street? They showed footage of him with the Dutch Prime Minister, which they're probably having their very important meetings. He went in front of all the cameras. He went to go in the black door at 10 Downing Street, and it was locked. They couldn't get in. I thought, maybe that's a sign that the people don't want you back in Parliament. They want you out, Sushi. So go and watch that footage. It's actually pretty funny. He's with the Dutch president trying to be all important, and the front door wouldn't open. Oh, the things that happen, it's pretty damn funny, guys. At least we have a giggle at this clown show, don't we? Oh, God, it just never ends. It never ends. All right. Oh, and thanks, guys, for all your kind thoughts with Sprocket. And Sophie, too. Look, Sprocket's doing well. Sophie's got the jingle bell on. If you're new here, we've just found out my dog's gone blind. So it's a huge thing to get around. But we'll get there. Sprocket's a tough cookie. He's a very loving dog, and he's certainly eating. It has not affected his appetite at all. So thank you again for all your kind wishes, guys. All right, let's get started. Without further ado, let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. I've got my coffee. Oh, the birds are going crazy outside today. You can hear the crows. All right. Oh, I'm getting this song by U2, that where the streets have no names, where the streets have no names. I'm getting this is what the future's looking like. We know that it is. They're going to try and have, I'm just getting this, it's a zombified state where the streets have no names and people are just wandering aimlessly. See, the thing is, when the streets have names, it gives people identity. I'm Chrissy that lives in blah, blah, blah street, or you're Joan who lives in da-da-da street. But this is what they're trying to eliminate. See, we know they're trying to get us all into shoeboxes and be all production line, just like Panda, which is China here if you're new. Just like Panda. They want us all lined up living in shoeboxes. They want us all like zombies, all the same. We know here about the microchipping and this kind of thing. We talk about the stormtrooper police robo-cops that they're trying to create. So I'm getting this where the streets have no name. Everything's just, see, this is the vision they have of the future, is just all the little people. I've got to show you something, guys. I did this ages ago. Hang on, wait there. I'll be 2 seconds. I made this ages ago, guys. So I've been meaning to show you the little people and Lego people. I thought you'd find that very funny. Look at us all. That's what they want us to be. All different types of people. These are my daughter's Lego from years ago. That's how I see the Lego people. You know how I always talk about the peasants and the Lego people? Well, that's how they want us lined up. Just like the Hunger Games, doing as we're told and losing our identity. And I'm getting that song, Losing My Religion. I'm getting that as well, that song. Is that REM? Because they want all the one world religion, one world bank, the one world everything. You know how it goes. So we start to lose our identity. So that's why I'm getting that streets with no name, where people are just lost, basically, and existing. But this is a very long-term goal. This isn't like next week. This is their future. Oh, God, I got something in my eye, guys. This is their future goal. To get us all, like, well, I guess you could say nameless, and we just turn into numbers. Oh, look, there's a policeman at the front there. He'll be a number for sure. So I did that just to show you guys the image of the Lego people that I have in my head. That's interesting. The little gremlin one fell off. Maybe that's us. Can you see that? Is that focusing? The naughty elves. That actually reminds me of the naughty elf. We fell off, so we don't comply, do we, guys? We still don't. All right, let's keep going. Yeah, see, that's what the guys are saying. Identity is key. When someone can be identified, it can isolate people down. Like, well, we know the tracking and tracing, that's going to be easy. If you're identified as a number, it's no different to, example, Auschwitz or somewhere like that, where, you get your tattooed number. It's in all movies. How many movies has that been in where you're identified by your number? I'm just thinking of that. Is it, I'm getting Born Identity. I haven't seen that movie, but I'm just getting these things. You're identified by a number. That's what I'm getting. That's the long-term vision of these dictating tyrants. Will just be a number in their system, their little computer system, tapping away. On number 212,000 million, she's over there. And, this is what they want. They want this. They want us just to conform, comply, and do as we're told, basically. All right, let's keep going. Oh, I'm getting, of course I am. I'm getting Dictator Dan. And they're saying that Dictator Dan, I really do believe he could be with the WEF. There's a high probability, because I'm getting that he's pretty high up now. He's quite respected. Oh my God. He's quite respected by his peers, not by the little people and peasants and Lego people, but he's quite respected by his peers. I feel like people feel like he did the harsh measures, and he really did, guys. At our protests, his police force was brutal. I've been watching a few more videos actually of the police down there in Victoria during these things, bashing people for no reason, because they were walking down the street and they weren't supposed to be walking down the street. So they got bashed by like 6 or more cops, and people filmed it. So there's also footage of it. And these people are trying to take the cops to court now. There's a lot of this stuff going on about the brutality. So I do feel, sadly, Dictator Dan gets a bit put on a pedestal by some of his peers around this puppet show. The puppet show. The puppet masters put him on a pedestal because he did all the right things that they wanted him to do. He squashed the people. He kept them in their houses for 2 years, guys. 2 years, locked up for 2 years. Can you imagine being in your home for 2 years and you couldn't even sit on a park bench, couldn't take kids to the park, you were all stuck at home. Only one person was allowed to go shopping. Nuts. I mean, we all had it tough, but they did have harsh manners. It was the little China. It was just like Panda. So I feel like Dictator Dan has been put on a pedestal by his peers. Oh my God. It's like Jacinda revisited, isn't it? She's got all these important positions now because all the elites really respect her and think she's got so much to offer. Look at her on Earthshot now with William. It's so painful to watch, isn't it? Oh, and meanwhile, she's just left a trail of destruction in New Zealand. And look at Melbourne. Melbourne is not even an inkling of the place that it was. It was a thriving hub of activity. People loved going there. It had alfresco dining. Now it's all like boarded up shops and just nobody wants to go and live in Victoria because it was such a dictator state. And I actually think that Jacinta Allen, who has taken over, she's the same. What's she done that's so great and changed everything? Pretty much not a lot. Anyway, she worked under him, so she's probably got the same mindset. Hate to say that, anyone living down there. All right, let's keep going. I'm getting Spain. I get Spain quite a bit here, don't I? I'm getting that they're tightening up their borders. Spain's tightening up their borders. God, this illegal immigrants thing is crazy, crazy, crazy nuts. So they're tightening up their borders. I feel there's illegal immigrant issues there as well. It's out of control globally. This has to be part of the reset, guys. It has to be. Whether it's about the slave labour, I think a lot of you nailed it too. You wrote back to me the other day when we were talking about this and you said it's a lot about division. And I think one of you had a really good point. Sorry, I've gone blank as to who it was, but it was such a good point. You said that they're not going to have loyalty to that country. For example, if Mexicans come into America, they don't have that allegiance to America. And I thought that was a very good point. So thank you for sharing your feedback, all you guys, because I do actually take note of these things. It's very interesting because we're all living in different parts of the world and we're going through very different experiences. But what usually happens somewhere will end up happening somewhere else, and then eventually it happens down the line, doesn't it? Pretty much to most of us. So I am getting that Spain's tightening their border. Hang on a minute. I'm getting next year that there's going to be concepts of the verbal concepts. They're going to start experimenting, I feel, without verbal language. Now, this could be the microchipping. It could be. But I keep saying that this awakening process is about opening up your intuition, opening up your telepathy. We've talked here about telepathy and vibration. And most of you here on my channel understand how vibration and frequency works. We get it. We know that you can actually sense and hear things. That's what synchronicity is. It's two things coming together at the same time, isn't it? You know, it's vibrational frequency being sent and received. That's what I'm getting. I'm getting that next year they're going to work on, and these will be probably experiments. We know they will be, about how they can send messages. Well, I'm saying telepathically, and this isn't us guys that are awake, because we kind of already do this, don't we? Put our thoughts on things. That's why we manifest here so much. But I feel like part of the reset is the working on the telepathy and the other communications. I feel like verbal communication, I think you could probably, actually we could already say this, couldn't we, if you think about the modern world. How many people ring each other up anymore? No one. I mean, I ring my mum because she's in a different state. That's probably the sort of situation where you'd ring someone. But no one just rings a friend. We all text, or we text to make a time to catch up and have a coffee or something like that. But it's all communication by sort of, social media platforms and things like that, isn't it? So I'm getting there's going to be more of this worked on. Less verbal. Which is very interesting, isn't it? Like, I wonder what the purpose of that would be. Less spoken words. And I guess if you think about it, it's like the more people lose their voices, meaning the little people, peasants and Lego people, the more they can be controlled, because the old throat tightens up. You know, we've had that many times on this channel, haven't we? People's voices get restricted. Look at the jab wheel. That's a classic example of the tightness and restriction in the voices. So I feel like next year there's going to be more of this. It's not going to be the same as during the CV though. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be different. It's going to be like things designed specifically around verbal, around less verbal. Oh, that's a bit confusing, isn't it? Maybe it is part of the reset, but I'm just getting that. They want less people talking to each other. God, they did a good job with that during the lockdowns and that though, didn't they? Because that was their goal. Separate and divide and conquer. And it worked really well. Gosh. And I think that was probably the biggest issue most of us would talk about during that lockdown was the lack of human contact and the lack of being able to talk to people or seeing anyone. People couldn't even see loved ones and say goodbye. So I feel like this is an area, verbally, they want us less verbal and less interacting. That's just what I'm getting next year. And they're going to be working on other avenues of that. Other avenues, which, like I say, is like the telepathy, but maybe that'll open up naturally to the telepathy in people. We know here, we talk about our antenna and our sensitivities and our intuition, like it's so sharp now that we've awakened, that you do hear things and you do sense things and then you do see things. It's bizarre. We don't even really know how it works, but we do know it's a frequency of vibration. It's like, Chris, you always talk to me about, and Chris, you nail it every time. You talk about these dark forces and dark energies and how everything that is, well, we'll put it over here, to do with that darkness that's trying to override the light at the moment, it's all like frequency. And it really is. You think about the smartphones, the smart devices, all these Apple Watches, everything's like on this frequency that, even the reset, where's the reset? We can't see it. It's not concrete. It's not out there to, oh, here it is. It's all sort of hearsay, isn't it? So it is. It's that vibrational frequency. And they're trying to keep us in that low frequency vibration. But we keep, well, on this channel, we keep moving into the high vibrational frequency because we know that's the key, to keep raising the vibration of the planet, really, by keeping ourselves in that good frequency vibration. But it does affect us. So I am getting a lot about verbal. I'm getting a lot about the verbal. They want a far less spoken word. Oh, this is weird. I hope it isn't those. My hubby said something the other day. He'd heard something about the microchipping in the brains or in the bodies or whatever, and they were going to offer people, in order to trial it or to start implementing it, they were going to offer them some crazy amount of money, like $2,000 a week or something, to be the guinea pigs or whatever. And I mean, people would do that. Young people would do that, wouldn't they? They would do that. God, that'd be an easy pay packet. But then what are you going to turn into? A robot, an AI robot? I don't know. They could influence your whole thoughts and everything. It's pretty daunting, scary stuff. When you hear Elon Musk talking about these things, it can be a little overwhelming sometimes to even think about, isn't it? That people would actually put their hand up and volunteer for something like that. All right, let's keep going. Gosh, I'm getting more crop circles. I'm seeing more crop circles appearing. Probably in America, I'm getting. But there's of course it's going to be in America. But is it going to be real? These are the questions. I'm getting more crop circles. We're going to start seeing more about crop circles. How are these crop circles created? I mean, we know it's not hard to create them. You just walk around with that thing, don't they, and squash the crops. But anyway, you'll probably start to see on your news feeds next year in America the crop circles. Crop circles and just strange happenings going on around the ET events. So I am seeing that. More crop circles. Oh, so more of the clown show. Oh. God, I hope no one goes to the moon. I couldn't stand watching another bloody video of that. I know you guys are with me on that. I'm getting Europe. We've been getting Europe is financially really under the pump now. The people in Europe. I feel like financially you guys have been the hardest hit, and I'm seeing it all bottlenecking now. Your finances in Europe are just going down to this little bottleneck, and it's just things are getting harder and harder and tighter and more difficult and very, very challenging. I feel like it's very challenging in Europe now, and it's survival of the fittest. Crime's going through the roof. People are really getting competitive for jobs. I feel like there's not enough jobs for the amount of people. It's like there's all this imbalance in Europe. That's what I'm getting. The ratio of everything's getting like helter-skelter, and I'm getting that song. Is it the Beatles that sing helter-skelter, do-do-do-do-do-do, helter-skelter? And you think of like definitely chaos when you think of helter-skelter. I'm just getting that that everything in Europe is helter-skelter and chaos at the moment. And it's around finance. And they said don't even go there about climate because that's an issue too. But the finance is just ruining people's lives in Europe. Sorry, guys, that's not very positive, is it? All I can do is tell you as it comes. I'll see if there's one more thing, guys, and we'll pull some cards for the weekend. God, I'm getting Germany is rising. God, I've had so much Germany. There has to be something coming in Germany, guys. There has to be. The other day on my feed, this little video popped up about those Nazi women in the German Nazi camps. It was so fascinating. And how they got caught and they ended up hanging them all. It's pretty horrible, all the things that went on and how cruel they were. But the interesting part was how they got caught in that mass psychosis and all they wanted to do was work for the, German military back then. And the sad thing, when most of these women got hung that worked in the camps, they're real monsters, they were all like 22 and 24. So how was the brainwashing of that? It's quite scary, isn't it, that mass psychosis? I often think about it. It's very interesting, isn't it, how it works, that repetitive brainwashing. But I am getting that Germany standing up. Sorry, guys, it was just a very interesting documentary, and I was very shocked at the age of the young women that were so evil, how it just turns people so evil. It's just scary. So I am getting Germany's, still getting Germany, so I have to say it. They're coming into their power, their strength. See, they still want to fight back. They don't like what the government's doing to them in Germany. Germany's just a very dominant force in my thoughts a lot, guys. So I always have to mention it because there's something, maybe it just bubbles under the surface and is ready to explode, but I just have to share it with you anyway because that's what I keep getting. All right, we'll see if there's one more thing and then we'll pull some cards and do our viewer reads. I'm getting China. Trudeau's withholding information from you guys. He's got some big plans. He won't come out till after Christmas, but he's got some big plans. Hang on a minute. For the unseeable future, hang on a minute. I feel like Trudeau, he's going to start capturing people's attention again after Christmas. And it could even be, this EV car thing and all this garbage. We know it just makes zero sense. I am getting that. I just feel like he's going to be pushing this after Christmas. He's going to be pushing the Lecky car, the EVs, but see, again, the infrastructure's not there. It's not viable. Like, you can't just go ahead and do all this and set dates and sort of lay blame on everybody, the little people and peasants and Lego people, that it's their fault. I feel like he's going to still come out after Christmas and do this. He's going to still lay blame on the little people as he jets around, as we know, in their jet planes and diesel guzzling cars. And he's going to really start to push the Lecky car thing. Gosh, guys, every time I see a Tesla or anything now, I go, oh, I'm definitely not getting a Lecky car. All I can think of is the way they catch on fire. I'm sure you guys are the same. So I think that's what he's going to really come out and push next year. Because remember Trudeau's very target orientated. He's climbing back up the top of the ladder again, like I said the other day. He's got goals to achieve, and he's a very important person who needs to achieve them. So he's going to start to put this on the little people that you have to start making a difference to your climate. Oh, you know what you'll get? You'll get the climate activists soon. The climate, what do they call it? The climate, what are they? Extinction? Oh, the extinction protesters. Oh, God. It's too many terms. I can't keep up, guys. We're the climate deniers. That's what I keep telling you guys. All right, how about we pull some cards, guys, because I think I'm losing my mind. There's just too much going on in the world. No, that's not them. Let's pull these. I'm going to pull one of each of these cards for us, guys. We're going to pull a Ginny Eagle Awaken. I'll get my specs on. That does help, doesn't it? Oh, the world. Oh, well, it's very entertaining, isn't it, guys? Never boring. My energy flows freely, revision. Yeah. See, rest, flowing. Revision, I think of that as looking back, but also letting go, looking forward, flowing. We always get flowing. Don't stay in your past. If you need to have a rest, again, that's the visual. Have a rest. Close your eyes. Have a quick shut eye and make sure you're getting good sleep. I'm still on my valerian root tea. I know I nag you to death, but it has really helped me at times when I couldn't sleep with my knee. So look at anything you can to make sure you're getting some good rest. We'll also pull a Life Alignment Oracle card today for everyone. I am. Oh, we got this the other day. Remember we got that Neil Diamond song? I am my pride. Is that the song? I am tonight, and no one else cares her, not even the chair. I am. I am is us. We know who we are, though. See, that's what the awakening does to you. I am. I know who I am. We've got stronger in that. We know exactly who we are. And I think we've finally come to an acceptance of who we are. Yes, other people might see us as different, but we don't see ourselves as different because that's who we are. We're intuitive, sensitive, sixth sense people who pick up signs, signals, and, you know, that's just how we are. We don't have to apologize for being sensitive souls that sort of know how the universe works. We worked that out a long time ago. I'm going to pull your whispering wood. Sorry, guys. Let's get this as an outcome card. Music. Oh, that's a change. There is a melody to be heard in the deepest parts of the wood if only we listen. Yeah. See, that's listening to the quiet as well. We do hear a lot more sounds. The awakening opens you up not only visually and your sense of smell and all your senses, but look how much music we get on this channel. And I'm getting that song. Music is my life. My life is music. Music is my life. I don't know who sings it. And they're giving me another song. Hang on a minute. Oh, wait on. They're giving me a Renee Gayer song, but I just can't get to it. Hang on. Renee Gayer. Oh, I'm going to look it up, guys, because it's frustrating me. I've got my iPad, but I'll make sure that I don't turn it on or I'll get into big trouble. I know YouTube will give me a strike if I play anything. Because sometimes they show me, like, the visual, and then I can't get to the song. Oh, that's it. I've got it. Oh, that was going to frustrate me, guys. I had to get that one. Heading in the right direction. Am I heading in the right direction for your loving and affection? 'Cause it's going to be a brand new start. It's the way to your heart. I want you to go and listen to that song today. It's very important, guys. That Renee Gayer song. She's got an incredible voice. All right, we might pull our viewer cards now. Pick a cards. Debbie Wild, 7347. You've been with me for quite a long time, Debbie. Let's pull you an Angel Answers card. I really love Renee Gayer. She's got an incredible voice. Heading in the right direction. So that's good confirmation, guys. We're heading in the right direction. We're heading in the right direction. Oh, look for a sign. This is a common one. Look for a sign. I feel like, Debbie, there's been a few turbulent times for you of lately. Things are a little bit turbulent. But I feel like if you look at that sort of, it's almost like a lightning bolt of strike in his hand. I feel like you're doing that yourself. You're actually putting that lightning bolt down and you're changing the energy. You're changing everything around. You've had enough. That's what I'm getting for that. I'm going to pull another one for you, Debbie. You're changing the vibration now. You're shifting things. And I think you know that you're shifting things because you have to. There's something better. Yeah, you have to shift things. Because you know there's better out there. You don't have to stay stuck in the, it's saying stuck in the stagnant waters. And if you think of the stagnant waters, we always think of, mosquitoes growing, mold, and the water's not flowing. You don't stay there anymore because there's something better. You can change the vibrational frequency and get moving again. It's too stagnant, too much turbulence. But turbulent times meaning like rough and hard times is what I'm getting for you, Debbie. Yeah, just trust. Just trust. When the timing's right, look at the energy coming from the head chakra up here. And that to me, like if this is you, Debbie, sitting here, that's like double protection. Look at that. Someone's propping you up behind you, and you've even got the higher vibrational, well, probably your own higher mind and your higher spirit guides are guiding you in the right direction. I'm getting that song again. But that's what I'm getting for you, Debbie. You've got to trust. You're very, very well supported, whether that's in spirit guide or it could even be that you're well supported with family and friends. That could also be important. I feel like you've got very good support around you. You will get through this, Debbie. Soul expression card for you, Debbie. You're a tough chickie. That's what I'm getting. You're a tough cookie. That's what they're saying to me. There's nothing that you can't handle. Even if you're feeling a bit disturbed or whatever right now, it's not going to stay like that for long. That's what I'm getting. Self-confidence. I'm an amazing soul. I'm worthy of being self-confident. Yep. Get back to your self-confidence. Find your self-confidence again. Don't let anyone take your confidence away. People can only take your confidence away, Debbie, if you allow them to take your confidence away. You don't have to allow people to take your confidence. You can stay in your strength, power, and your knowledge. Don't let others take it away. Cycles. I respect the cycles of nature. I honor the shadow and the light within me. I plant positive seeds for my future. Yep. And I'm getting a visual for you, Debbie, of a vision board. They're showing me a vision board. You've lost sight of your visions. I feel like you've got to start creating a vision board. Go down. I want you to go down and like literally buy a vision board. Buy like a cork board. I feel like maybe once upon a time you were really good at this and now you've just forgotten how to do it, or it's like everything got in the way and you forgot to do it. I want you to like cut out pictures, put all the things you want to create in your life and have happen on that board, that pin board, like a cork pin board. Cut pictures out of magazines, put photos on there, whatever you want to put on there. But I want you to start creating. You've lost your creative juices aren't flowing. They're not flowing, Debbie. You're stagnant water, you're not flowing. And nothing's going to happen unless you start putting your mind on it. Sound. I allow the vibration of music to release me. I allow the vibration of sound to heal me. Yep. And the guys are saying put it background sound on. So even if you're doing housework around the house, I want you to put music on and start getting vibration through your body and your mind. God, any sort of sound. It could be, they're saying any sound, any sort of sound in the background. Put your Spotify on or whatever. You could have rainforest music, water trickling. You could have, rock and roll music. It doesn't matter, but they're saying any sound will help you to shift vibration. Because remember, Debbie, that sound can change us and take us to a better feeling place. Sometimes it can emote those emotions. Remember I was talking the other day to you guys about that song I really love, Nights in White Satin? Oh my God, that song does something to my chest. I don't even know why. It just does. There's something in it that just triggers me. That's what they're saying to you. Experiment with music. Put music on in the background. You don't have to sit in silence. I'm getting that song. We're not going to sit in... Oh, that's the voice. We're not going to sit in silence. We're not going to... Your voice, get your voice back. I feel like your voice is lost as well. That's why I'm getting the sound. The sound will help your voice to come back. Because the vibrational frequency of any sound will get your voice back. They're even showing me bamboo wind chimes. Like, it doesn't matter. Any kind of frequency vibration, that's what you've got to work on. But I want you, Debbie, to get your vision board started. You've lost your visions. You're not going anywhere at the moment because you're literally not got your mind on anything. I mean, there's a difference between living in the now and then creating things. And I know this is where it gets confusing for people. Sometimes you think, I've got to live in the now. And that's good that you're living in the now. But that's living in the now, like being here doing this, doing what you're doing at the time is living in the now. Not living in the past and not panicking and worrying about the future. But there's also nothing wrong with creating and manifesting and planning for the future. That's a whole different thing. So I want you to see the differences there, Debbie. So you've got some homework to do. Start on this vision board and start thinking what you really want. Could be anything. Could be buying a new toaster. It doesn't matter. Could be, going for a weekend away in the mountains. Put a picture of some mountains and a little cabin and, these kind of things. I want you to get your creative juices flowing because they're stagnant. That's my biggest tip for you today, Debbie. Oh, I hope that helped, Debbie. And get back to sound and music. Sound is huge for you. It's very important to change how you feel. Okay, the next person I'm going to be pulling a card for is Justice Warrior. Hi, Justice Warrior. You've been here for ages too. Let's pull you an Angel's Answers card first. Oh, choose a new direction. I think you're actually wanting to choose a new direction. You'd like change. I feel like you're ready. The time is right. There's nothing stopping you. You're a very determined person. You can make things happen. You have this really good ability to make things happen and make them happen in the way that you choose to. You are very good at steering your ship is what I'm getting. I'm getting upside down, reverse, improving health. Your health might be a little bit off too. And if you think of that card upside down, look at the cup. It's like things are pouring out. You've got to find a way to get it back up so your health doesn't keep going down the gurgler. But you can change these things too. Justice Warrior. Yeah, health in reverse. I feel like your health might be a little bit shaky at the moment. It needs improving. But I think you know that. I think you're aware that you've got to start improving things in order to turn it around. Like it's like being upside down. And if you start improving things, it'll automatically just turn it around. But you know that. So you already know that up here in your logical mind. But now you've just got to, now you've just got to put it into action is what I'm getting. Put it into action, improve your health, and you will get a peaceful resolution. See, look at that. Everything will open up. You'll start to feel better. Look at that chest, the light coming out of the chest there. That's what I'm feeling. Once you start improving your health, I feel like, yeah, and that could be to do with the choosing a new direction too. You'll have a much more peaceful resolution. You'll feel more at peace. It's important for you, Justice Warrior, because I don't think you're, at the moment, it's interfering with your peace. And see, if you think about improving health, yes, we think of our physical body and aches, pains, ailments, eating well, cutting back on the drink and, smoking vapes, whatever. But it's a lot of different areas. Improving your health can also be mentally, improving how you live, Do you get enough of nature? These kind of things as well. Like, are you on a computer screen a lot where you need to get up and walk away and go and spend time with for example, a pet or just get that fresh air, go for a nice walk, put your sand shoes on, These are other things that can improve your health as well because they clear the cluttered mind. Sometimes a cluttered mind can be a hurdle that we have to overcome. Do some spiritual decluttering. Jealousy. I release my jealous feelings. I send love to myself and others involved in this situation. I don't think it's so much that you're a jealous person, Justice Warrior. I think maybe what I'm getting there, you might be to some degree jealous of other people's lives. Like maybe you see things in others that you wish you could be. But the thing is, I think what I'm trying to say to you, Justice Warrior, is looking from the outside in, just remember you're only getting that perspective. You're not seeing what things are really like. So it's that perspective again, Unless you're on top of that mountain looking at the 360-degree view, you're not getting every aspect of certain things. You're only seeing a portion if you're down in the valley. So don't always look from the outside in thinking things are great and wonderful because often they're not. Drama. I release my need for drama, send love to the situation, I release myself from it. And that can be anything. That can be when people try and drag you into their dramas. And people don't do it on purpose. They just do it because they don't know what else to do. they might look to you to help solve their problems or help them through a difficult situation. But Justice Warrior, that can be very draining on you. You've got to take stock of how much time do you give something to. So I would limit times where anyone's having a good whinge to you, or just keep it more brief so you don't take on the energy, because you clearly are sensitive if you're here on my channel. I take the time to dream. I believe in my dreams. I take positive action towards them. Yeah. Time to get things moving and shaken. Follow your dreams, follow your goals, follow your wishes. Your heart's healing. I feel like your heart's healing. And you're really strengthening. But you've got to lighten the load. I still feel like you're carrying a big load. And it's showing me, it's not that it's showing me like, well, it's not really the backpack of emotions. It's different. This is like a very big, it's like a very big, what do you call those things that they cart around in the army? It's like one of those where it's really heavy, full of tents and camp gear and boots and dry socks. And I feel like you've got this big load. But the thing is, the guides are saying it's not yours. You're carrying, it's like you're the, like, say the army commander, and you're carrying all your soldiers' gear for them. Stop doing it. Interconnected. I acknowledge that we are all interconnected in sending love to you. I send love to myself. Yeah. Start sending love to yourself. Because I feel like you do too much for other people. You carry their, it's like you carry their emotional baggage for them, but you also try and solve it for them. And it's too much. You can't do all of that. Even though you may be incredibly gifted at knowing how to do all that, maybe what the guides are saying is give them the tools so they can do it themselves, because you can't keep carrying this, because it's saying your back could collapse. You'll end up collapsing, and all like the soldiers or the people around you will all be stronger because they haven't been carrying it and you've been trying to help them and carry it. The guides are saying just give them the tools now. Just give them the tools. Share your knowledge. That's what I'm getting. Share your knowledge. Don't be afraid to share your knowledge. Because also you got to see it as that you're teaching other people. You're teaching people. It's the old saying, teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime, but, give him a fish and you only feed him for a day. That's what I'm getting for you, Justice Warrior. It's time to teach people. You're a natural born teacher, apparently. All right, guys, I'll see if there's anything else to close with today and we'll wrap it up. I'm getting this beautiful song by George Michael. I love George Michael. When you find love and you know just what love is, my love. I don't know what the song's called. You'll have to go and look it up. When you find love. And that's about the awakening. When you find that love vibrational frequency, you're just not going to go back to the darkness and all those awful feelings of resistance in our bodies. You're not going to go there anymore. Because when you find love and you know just what love is, you want to stay there. And that's by George Michael. Don't know the name of the song. You're going to have to go look it up. Sorry, guys. You know how good I am. All right. I'm going to say goodbye from Australia. The great clouds are coming over now. Looks like another storm brewing. Oh, my God. Hope you guys are getting some sunshine over there where you guys are living in the UK and Canada and everywhere. You'd be sick of that rain. All right. I'll say goodbye from Australia. Take care. Have a wonderful day, everybody. And I'll come on and talk to you tomorrow. Don't forget, comment, subscribe, all those things. You know the drill. Okay. Bye, everyone. Bye.